Here are your answers to 1 through 7. Take a minute, check your work, check your answers, and then continue on with the video if you need to see any of them worked. All right, the real number system. Been a while since we've talked about this. Let's quickly go through what these sets are. If you'll remember, we started with the natural numbers. The natural numbers are the numbers you count with, so like 1, 2, 3. Then we added 0 to that, and we got the whole numbers. Whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Then we put negatives with that, and we added, or we became, or they became, the integers. So this would be -1, -5, things like that. And then we added fractions and decimals, and those are the rational numbers. So 2/3, -0.6 repeating, which is the opposite of 2/3, I guess, but so on and so forth. Then over here, connected but not the same thing, were the irrational numbers. These were numbers that could not be made fractions. So pi is an irrational number. Any square root that's not a perfect square, the square root of 7 is irrational. And the rational and irrational numbers make the real numbers. Any number that you are familiar with is a real number. So over here it asks, which of the following number sets does not include the negative square root of 25? Well, we need to simplify that a little bit. That actually equals -5, right? So look over here, where does -5 fit? Well, I actually put it in there, didn't even know about it. I put it in -5, right? So that's an integer. So it is in the integers. Is it a rational number? Can I write -5 as a fraction? Yes. Every number I know is a real number, so -5 is not a whole number. Why? Because it's negative. Okay? Now, the next one says, which of the following is true? All real numbers are rational numbers. Well, that's not true because our real numbers can be rational or irrational. So that one's gone. B, all whole numbers are natural numbers. Is every whole number a natural number? No, 0 is. Natural is inside whole, not the other way around, right? So that's not true. All integers are whole numbers. Is the integer square inside the whole number square? No, these negatives are not whole numbers. So all integers are not whole numbers. Are all natural numbers integers? Well, look at your natural numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Are those all integers? Yes, the whole box of natural numbers is inside the integer box. So D is my true statement. Number 3, which of the following is irrational, which means which one can I not write as a fraction? Can I write -4 as a fraction? Sure I can. I can put it over 1. Square root of 49, is that a perfect square? The square root of 49 is 7, so I can write that as a fraction. That is not irrational. 3/8 is automatically not irrational because it's a fraction. The square root of 2, is that a perfect square? It is not. If you were to put 2 in your calculator and hit the square root key, you would fill the whole screen up. It never ends, it never repeats. So the square root of 2 is an irrational number. Number 4 says, what is the value of the square root of 81? What times itself equals 81? Well, 9 times 9, right? So the square root of 81 is 9. Which of the following represents a perfect square? Remember, a perfect square means a number times itself when we're talking about squaring and square root. And a perfect square means the square root is a whole number. So does something times itself, does a whole number times itself equal 26? No. Does a whole number times itself equal 19? No. Does a whole number times itself equal 35? No, but 4 times 4 equals 16. So my answer is D. Between what two numbers is the square root of 35 located? Now this can be done with a calculator, but I want to remind you we did this without a calculator. We looked at our perfect squares. Remember your perfect squares, 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16, 25, 36, 7 times 7 is 49, 64, 9 times 9 is 81, 10 times 10 is 100. That's just the basic ones. You can go farther. And we asked ourselves, where is 35, right? 35 is located between 25 and 36. Well, the square root of 25 is what? 5. And the square root of 36 is 6. So the square root of 35 has to be between 5 and 6. Now, number 7 says, which of the following, it's related to this, best represents the location of the square root of 27 on the number line below. Well, what two perfect squares is the square root of 27 between? If you look at your chart, it's between the square root of 25 and the square root of 36. So it's between 5 and 6, and what is it closer to? It's pretty close to the square root of 25, right? So that would be point B, because point B is pretty close to 5, and it's between 5 and 6.